Good morning everybody and welcome back to Will's Mountain Homestead. My name is Wendy and today we're going to talk about how to water bath can. And with food prices going up, it is more important now than ever to learn how to preserve your own food. So this episode is going to be about water bath canning. The next one I do will be about pressure canning. So today I'm going to go through the steps of how to water bath can and the equipment that you're going to need. Okay, so let's get started. This piece of equipment right here is a traditional water bath canner. It comes in 3 pieces, so you have the pot, the lid, and then a jar rack. The jar rack lifts in and out of the pot. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your jars. The first step in any part of water bath canning is to prepare your equipment, inspect it, make sure your pot is good, make sure it's washed out, it's clean, and then also to make sure that your jars are clean as well. Get this all done ahead of time, that way whenever you are done preparing your food, you can just go right ahead and put them into your jars. Okay? Now I have purposely pulled out one jar that I have that has a defect in it just to show you the jars that you do not want to use. So this is a quart jar, and you can see right here that there's a chip in it. This chip also extends into the ring here, and what will happen is this jar will not seal because it doesn't have a smooth surface right around here. Okay, so when you find cracks or divots like this in your jars, set those to the side and use them for different things like rice or flour or something like that that you want to keep dry goods in. Now your jars come in different type sizes. You have quarter pints, you have half pints, you have pint size, and then the next one up, and then you have the quart size jars. So make sure all of your equipment is clean. Clean it with hot soapy water, and you're going to clean your jars, your lids, and your rings in the hot soapy water, okay? And then rinse them off. Once you have, this is what I do because we do not have a dishwasher. So once I wash my jars, I fill this with water, and then I set my jars inside to sterilize them. So I'll put them in here, and as this water starts to boil, it will sterilize my jars. So then I put my lid over top, and then I just leave it just like this until I am ready to fill my jars with the food that I have prepared. A few more pieces of equipment you might want to get is a jar lifter. These come in handy for putting your hot jars into the canner, loading them in, and also once you have finished canning, lifting them and taking them out so that you aren't touching the top of the jar. Something else to keep in mind is you will need a funnel of some sort. This one just came with the jar lifter, and it came as a set, and sometimes these are cheaper when you buy them together as a bundled product. Okay, next what you're going to do is you're going to prep your food. Whenever you're prepping your food, make sure that you're using the best quality food you can find. It doesn't have to come from your garden. It can be store-bought. So if you don't have a garden and food goes on sale, pick up extra and can it. But if you find any pieces that are bruised or pieces that look like they have bad markings on them, let's put it this way, if you wouldn't eat it in its raw state or its raw form, don't can it. So prepare your food according to what the recipe states, and then you're going to fill your jars. When you fill your jars, it's going to ask for headspace. So they do make a tool that you can put in to the jar. It looks like little steps that go up. I recommend getting that as well, and it will tell you if you have reached the appropriate headspace. If it asks for 1 inch, usually it's that rim right here, and then it just goes up to a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, And it is important, so make sure that you follow those guidelines thoroughly, because you do not want to let any type of bacteria into your canned product. So you're going to fill your jars, and then you're going to take, I usually use like a big long chopstick or a butter knife, and I go around the edges to get all of the air bubbles out. You want to make sure you have every air bubble out. And then you'll wipe this off with water, and you'll put your lid on and tighten your ring down. Okay. Then what you'll do is you'll take your jar full of product and put it down into your rack, your lifted rack. Okay. So this does come up and down. So make sure it's in the lifted state, and then you're going to sit it in here. Keep doing that until your canner is full. This one will hold 9 pints. And 7 quarts is the size of this, just to give you an idea. And what you're going to do to process it, you're going to fill this up with water, and whenever you have your canner full, you're going to lift these ends up, and then you're going to lower the rack clear down to the bottom. Okay, make sure it's on the bottom. Now you want your jars to have, or your water to be at least 2 inches above the top of your jar. Okay, I always have a kettle of hot water on the back burner. Some products, like your tomato products and stuff, do take a longer time, like half hour, 45 minutes to process in a water bath canner. Sometimes the water can evaporate from that, and your water level will go down. So you always want to make sure you have boiling water ready to pour in here in case that water level does start to dip down a little bit. So you want a good 2 inches above the top of your jar for water bath canning. And then what you're going to do is, when your timer is done, these handles and this get extremely hot. So make sure you have washcloths or a towel or something to grab these with to pull this out. So you're going to lift this up and rest it right here. Now, some of my recipes that I have do say to let this sit just like this for 5 minutes, and some do, some don't. So follow your recipe according to what it tells you to do. So when you're ready to take it out, I always put it on a couple towels I stack up, and you just gently lift these out straight up. Don't tilt them to get the water off. If there's any water on the top of them, it's okay. It will air dry. Just lift them straight up and put them on your towel or your rack or whatever you're using for these to cool down. You're going to let these jars sit for 24 hours, and you will hear them start to pop and ping. After that 12 to 24 hours is over, usually I wait 24 hours, check to see if it is completely sealed. So let me show you what a completely sealed product looks like. This is peach jam that I canned this year, and you'll tell that you can't hear anything popping up and down. And look, I can hold it by this. I can hold it by the lid and it's not coming off. So that's what you want to look for. Once you're done, clean your jars really well and wash the rings. I do not store my jars with the rings on them, and then I reuse my rings again, so that way I don't have to purchase new rings. So just to show you a couple things that we water bath can here. This is peach jam. This is ketchup. Cowboy candy, which is my favorite. And now these are pickled green beans. Okay, these are not pressure canned green beans. These, we have turned our green beans into a pickle. So this is in a brine and it has been water bath canned, okay? So these taste just like pickles. And I have put some hot peppers in here too to give them a little bit of heat. And some tomatillo salsa. So it just gives you a couple of ideas, and we do a lot more than that, but it just shows you what you can do in a water bath canner. I also recommend getting yourself a couple of books, and you can tell these are worn because they've been used quite a bit. But I use this book. This one is by far my favorite, and I will say if you're going to make an investment in getting a book, get this one because it has every recipe you could possibly imagine in it, and it's a very good one. My very first book that I got was, don't laugh, it was this because I needed to understand the very basics of it and I didn't know how, and I was just learning. So I know there are places out there like thriftbooks.com that you can get them used. So check those out first before you go and buy something like this brand new, and you might save yourself some money in the long run. But please give this a try. This whole process, it can seem overwhelming, and I will provide you with some videos of how we do water bath can some of our stuff and our canned goods. So I will have extra videos out later on once our garden starts coming in. But in the meantime, get yourself one, get a couple books, start learning, and it is fun once you get into it because we have learned what we like and what we don't like. And I mean, salsa, just even being able to can your own salsa from the products in your garden, it tastes so much better than what you buy at the store. But good luck, and I wish you all the best in your water bath canning. So stay tuned, and later on, probably next week, I will have a video out on pressure canning. So thank you for watching. Please make sure to click that subscribe button and leave any comments or any tips or tricks that maybe I forgot and left out down in the comment section. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.